What up, street dogs, street gods, street vlogs, Air Kim God Tug Vlogs, test togs. Gotta test your testosterone. Sun's out. Sure. Funny because certainly if you live in sub-Saharan Africa, from ethnicity where your ethnicity traditionally don't have that dark pigment, might not be good, but hey, like my pro tip with taking off your shirt, just take off your shirt long enough. Once it starts burning, just go back indoors and put on your shirt, and everyone's tolerance is different. Anyways, so lots of thoughts. Fuck what you and get some money. Okay, so I don't actually. Okay, so you know, a lot of guys talk about testosterone today. I talk about a lot too. I'm trying to think. Actually, it's actually not about testosterone. It's actually about becoming the most powerful and dominant and yeah, crazy. So for example, thus far, Homer Iliad, our best friend Achilles, is our role model. His demigod, half man, half god. His mom was a goddess. Man was a mere mortal. And he's by far the most formidable fighter of all of the ancient world. He could even take on the gods, which is, they're like, that's so, man, that's I didn't reread the Iliad. So effing, like Mars or all these other dudes come down from the skies, try to take on Achilles. Achilles whips their butt, has them crying back to their mamas. So if Achilles could take on the gods, so can you. And what's actually interesting in the Greek world is like there's actually not that much difference between mortals and gods and demigods, except the demigods or the gods don't have to eat food and they could just they don't die. But anyways, so Achilles is by far the most formidable fighter. Hector comes second, but Hector still lags way behind Achilles because Hector ain't a demigod. And people always wonder, like, Achilles heel. It's like, apparently the river Styx, you know, dipped him in everything but his ankle, so poison arrow hits him in the ankle, he dies, or something like that. Something like Alexander too, maybe, I don't know. But alas, well, it's good you got flex. So the general gist of the idea that I had, which is interesting at least to me, is that yeah, it's actually not testosterone per se that we need. Because think about it, like, you could inject yourself with indefinite amounts of exogenous testosterone and whatevs, right? And also, like, I'm like thinking like, okay, if we did a blood test sample of all the dudes in the gym and then just see who had the highest testosterone levels, would that necessarily predicate mean who is the strongest or the most indomitable? Not necessarily. And so that's not always the case. I'm like always think it's like, if I was in like a street fight, or, you know, assuming there's no guns or not, just mano a mano, whatever, like, could I hold my own? I think so. I mean, just get your fucking if hyperlifting has taught me anything, I ain't scared of nobody. If anything, I'm only scared of, like, I mean, for me, I'm more like, I just feel bad. I mean, like, ethics, like, say somebody hurt somebody's feelings, I feel kind of bad about it. But yeah, just, if shit hits the fan, I need to get into a fight to defend my wife or my kid. Yeah, elbows, knees, rage, fury, adrenaline, whatever's. So anyways, just did what? 10 plates of 5 and a 2.5er. This is getting out of control. I'm gonna hit 1,000 pounds soon. But anyways, before doing it, I just need to fucking start screaming, slapping myself in the face, get my adrenaline up. Gotta focus. Imagine like I'm going to war. It's like a life or death situation. And actually the funny thing is it is kind of true is that if you do not 100% focus before you lift something super duper heavy that you never lifted before, you could actually hurt yourself, right? Like ironically, my quote-unquote form is actually better when I'm doing my personal record attempt, when I high myself up to the max than the lower sets. So I, even as a practice, when you're working your way up to your highest weight, lift it like as if it was your heaviest. Like lift it always like it was 1,000 pounds. I think it's just a good way to, people talk about form. I don't think it's necessarily form. I think it's more like focus, maybe focus and leverage. And yeah, and I think at the gym, then the most robust goal, in my opinion, is to become the strongest. So the person who could lift the most weight of any given something. So for atlas lift, it's just by far the most effective means I found thus far to just move the heaviest amount of weight. Yeah, 10 plates and above. And then rack pull, then kind of using your legs and your hips, should be able to easily do over 8 plates. Bench press, floor bench press, just do a bench press off the floor, 6 plates, easy. Heavy dumbbell carries, go to the Gold's Gym in Venice and tell them Eric Kim sent you to pick up the 303 pound dumbbells. But yeah, ultimately the purpose of weightlifting is always to get your hype up. And yeah, maybe the goal isn't to become the most testosterone, the goal ain't to become the most manly, but maybe the goal is to become the most indomitable, powerful, strong, and indestructible.